So this is a global forum for conversations with partnership leaders in the B2B tech space. And I typically have a great audience of a few hundred people that show up, and we're all about it. And we have conversations often before and after this. And I'm so excited about today's episode. So I'm your host. I'm Dina Moskowitz, CEO of Partner Optimizer. And we bring partner intelligence and partner discovery and partner data to B2B partner organizations through our proprietary data mining and partner intelligence platform. So today our episode is number 5, and it's called appropriately, How to Build a New Partner Go-to-Market Revenue Machine. And I hope that what you learned today is going to inspire you and help you have a more successful year and career. And you'll get pumped up about what you can accomplish in the year ahead as well. So the topic of building a new go-to-market revenue machine is really great for our audience, and especially today because of 2 amazing reasons. Firstly, because as we start the year off, the number one reason we build partnerships in B2B tech is to drive revenue. And yet so many emerging organizations who are building a partner organization aren't given the resources or aren't given the know-how to build and stand up their own revenue machine, and they can't do it alone. And for example, at Partner Optimizer, our customers and our prospects even they experience how quickly and how efficiently Partner Optimizer surfaces this data and the intelligence and which partners to work with and engage. And then they say, well, now what? And I'm always surprised at the now what, because they should know what the now what is, because they should be equipped with their revenue machine. And so oftentimes they're not. And so who would be better, nobody, than to bring on the woman who's the pioneer of a platform that enables a really best practice go-to-market revenue machine to happen than Cassandra Golson, who is the CEO of PartnerTab. And as we bring Cassandra on, I want to tell you a little bit more about her. She is someone who I consider a mentor, someone who is charging the way with Fempire and supporting women in technology, women in partnerships, and is taking a really strong leadership role there. But she is basically partner obsessed, and she is the creator of this co-sell software category, which has been growing in popularity and in need because of the decade of the channel ecosystem. She really is like the mama bear, the mother of co-selling and cross-account mapping and building a platform that I personally think is the best out there. So Cassandra, what I want us to do is set the stage for this conversation, right? You had the epiphany and you had the vision and the grit to build a platform that fills this gap where partner teams just don't know what to do to activate and create better partnerships and drive revenue in the partnership. So why don't you tell me, how did that epiphany happen and how did you get started?
Yeah, so thanks so much for having me, Dina. It's great to be here. And I really, the reason why I founded PartnerTap was this age-old problem of being in software sales and wanting to just know who are the partners that I should be working with right now, who can help me get this deal over the line, who's already in my accounts that is a close partner of our organization. And answering those questions was extremely hard. Some people say it's like, you're a quarterback, whether you're, in the channel as a channel salesperson or a seller. I mean, somebody has to go to a customer and get contracts done. And somebody is a quarterback on these opportunities. And we call it really being blindfolded, because people don't know where are my partners working. The only way they know this is by sharing spreadsheets across organizations. Here's my target list. Here's my white space list. Here's my customer list. Where can we upsell, cross-sell? And this has been the way of salespeople, channel professionals forever, right, is just spreadsheets all over the organization. And, we really call this now random acts of co-selling. So we're trying to get people together around opportunities, and we really don't have the full picture of the data to do that. So we're randomly doing it. And there's a lot of problems with this. It leads to, one problem that you probably hear about is, partner favoritism. People are choosing just to go with this one partner because that's where their relationship is. But, fast forward 2024, we now have systems that can tell us exactly the partners we should be working with and where we should be hunting and fishing with those partners. And it's such an imperative, especially now with where the market is, that we utilize the data. I mean, I'm sure you've seen all of the layoffs that are happening. Now everybody has to do more with less, but using your same manual processes is just not going to make the numbers. Um, and
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's what you've been seeing too.
We've definitely been seeing a lot of that. The more with less is critical to partner organizations these days. But I think it's in part because they haven't been able to invest in building their go-to-market revenue machines in the first place, and so their senior leadership doesn't give them the level of confidence, respect, budget that they deserve to have. So tell me, what kind of partner intelligence does Partner Tap bring to the customer base?
Sure. So what we do is we allow companies to sync their CRM data or put in, their great rich account list, target list, and then align with multiple partners who are doing the same thing on the other side. And then from there, we now come to this first world problem of we have so much data that we didn't have before because we were manually doing one off co sell motions, where now we can make data driven decisions on what sales plays should be running with our partners in Q1. Marketing always is aligning the incentives with where the company wants to drive revenue. And that's where we should be running sales plays. So we bring all this data together. And then with that, the companies are deciding where they're going to run sales plays. And, we're doing this across companies that are distributors, um, and resellers, and also, ISV type companies. So making these sales plays and really automating a co-sell workflow. And I think the most interesting thing here is when you look at Partner Optimizer and Partner Tap, there really is this better together story. And the most wonderful thing is, we've been partnering in the space for a long time. And for us, it's, all about, hey, let's get the best partners and get all this data in the system and then run plays with these partners. And from your lens data, you can bring in the rich data set of which partners truly should you be running plays with. So I love the synergies between our companies. And, we both find this problem, this gigantic problem in the enterprise space where, enterprises are telling me day in and day out, we need to recruit more and different partners for different initiatives. And then the next thing is now we need to activate those partners. We need to help those partners go fish in the right pond. So it's
Exactly.
that
No,
is your revenue machine for
Yeah.
2024. It's all about data-driven decisions.
Right. And it's a modern set of tools that when you put together, it's even, it's that better together motion, really. So if you are looking at first needing to have the right partners, or knowing which partners within your own existing ecosystem, even ones that may be inactive, surface those ones based upon what your strategy is, what your ideal partner profile is at the time that you're caring about it. We do that so well with the different business attributes that we mine for on our end. And then once you have those partners, then now what is a partner tap solution where you can take those best ones that you've now targeted and brought to surface, and you have reason to talk to them, you have reason to partner with them, and now you have reason to discover which of their customers you now should be going after together to create even more opportunity more quickly, and that's the revenue engine.
Exactly. You're exactly right. It's where, which partners should we be going to market with? And then where should we be fishing with those partners? Where should we be helping them fish? Where should our teams be collaborating? And I think the most interesting thing about this space is that, for years, what we are solving has been done manually across different hodgepodge type systems or spreadsheets. Or just like folklore knowledge of
Mhm.
company, right?
Right.
Um, and we're just at this critical time where if companies don't make a change, the competition is coming.
Exactly.
And overnight, your market changes. That's the speed of innovation right now. And I think you and I are working with some of the most innovative companies in their industries, and it's exciting to see, the successes and the revenue that's come. I mean, you've told me amazing stories, and your ecosystem chronicles with AWS and SAP was awesome.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it was great, and it would be interesting. I don't know if they're yet using Partner Tap, but we need to make sure that they do, because it would be that perfect next step. And so with Partner Tap, I want to get into again, these the intelligence or the ahas or the light bulbs that when people are looking at the data that you surface, what are those ahas, and then what does it allow them to immediately do next?
So the ahas, I think, for us and for the customers are, you now get to become a strategist, right? Instead of a reactionary, partner manager, you now get to align with the strategy and incentives around of the company and make the data-driven co-sell plays. Like you start to feed the partners actual good opportunities. And that in turn makes the partner more excited to work with your organization. So I think what we're seeing is, the partner managers and the channel leaders that are coming above and going, okay, we need to get everybody aligned with our strategy. Now they can, because one, they've found the exact right partners, they've aligned data, and they have the sellers and the partner sellers working hand in hand on the best accounts, the highest propensity to buy. Right now, hunting around where, like, in accounts that don't have the propensity to buy is like the biggest waste of time, and people are going to lose immediately.
Yeah. And what I love about what your platform enables is that very seamless, very quick integration between, the CRMs of you as vendor supplier and the partner. And it's almost magical to see how quickly that works, and how as soon as it mashes together, it's giving you those ideas, basically those opportunities, so that, from a strategy standpoint, it's not like you had to think about them and come up with them. They're actually put in front of you so that you now know what to take action on.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
When you're working with, your top customers, what are some of your favorite success stories?
Oh gosh. For me, one of the things I love the most is when I first get on with any one of our prospects, whether they're an emerging partner organization with just maybe a couple of executives who are there trying to build their team and grow their channel. It's like I see them. I see that we're relieving their pain just by even telling them we understand the challenge they have. So many times executives who are, and I'll give an example of enterprise as well, but on those earlier stage or the smaller ones, they feel like they're thrown out there alone, and they're supposed to use their own contact database and their own just email, and to try to start searching and finding partners. And where do they start when it may be a new company to them? And there may be legacy partners and new partners, but they just don't know how to get their arms around it in a way that can not waste their time and they can get to real work. So seeing how they nod their heads as we are sharing with them how quickly they can discover the partners that matter to them, so that they can then go do business, is, I love that. And I love giving the demos, and I hope to always be on the front line as I grow the company. But on the enterprise side, the success stories, that one that we already talked about with AWS, which was so cool, was we've been working with them for over a year. And as we were looking back, just, casually at the dashboards that Christina uses to measure the traction. And she said, I didn't realize this, but, we just, with the partners that we source through Partner Optimizer, we're getting triple digit ARR, revenue increases. And the average size of the deals per partners are actually increasing in double digits. And that the number of deals that each partner is doing, that means the number of customers that those partners are bringing in, has increased triple digits. So to hear the actual metrics that it's really driving revenue,
Yes.
and making them much more efficient, to be able to achieve those kinds of stats within a year is just, it's so awesome, because, we build these platforms and they make so much sense to us, and the data and the intelligence is there to grasp, and, it really can accelerate partner programs. Do you have any similar stories, Cass?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing about you and I as founder CEOs here is we really, really stay close to our customers, and we're listening, and we're on the front lines
Yeah.
innovating, on their behalf. And that's so important in this space of innovation and speed. One story I love to tell is the story of Lumen. I mean, they are a company that has been around for a long time, but from the top down, they are doing the most innovative things inside of their organization. And the channel team there, Sarah Seegers, Danny Benedetti, shout out to both of you, and everybody else on the Lumen team. They saw that, hey, we need to be closely connected to our distribution partners. We want to get the best accounts over to these agents.
Mhm.
And to do that is really hard because you're going through a third party. So the co-sell application that we've delivered for Lumen, and the results that we're seeing, and the partners that are turning accounts and pipeline, it's just super exciting. So yeah, just like you, the best stories are all in the revenue.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
that's what
it's interesting. Right. And when you bring up, the distribution case, so what we found, because we also, have some distributors that we work with, and, if you're a vendor supplier like a Lumen or, one of the ones we work with, if you understand what your ideal partner profile is, and
Right.
you're able to give that to the distributor, and that distributor can leverage us or whatever they use to then surface those partners, it puts you in much more control of what you expect of the distributor and what the distributor can do to help you more quickly. And it's just such a brilliant strategy. And I hope to see more and more of our customers and future prospects understanding that distribution is only starting to get their arms around who their own partners are as well. And so you have to help them. Just because you're joining a distributor ecosystem, it doesn't mean that they're going to be able to know off the top of their heads which partners to pull in that are the right ones for you. So by you knowing and having that partner intelligence to put in front of them and then demand of them back to you, who do you have out there? What are the deals? What are those partners? How many are there? What can we do extra for those ones that are really worth activating? It's a much more strategic activating strategy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Huge advantage in 2024.
Yep, especially a competitive advantage. Yep, great. And when we were talking before earlier, you were saying, customers, well, vendors, partner teams, they have to do a lot more with a lot less, right? And so, in order to get involved with a partner tap and the data that you surface, what's involved there?
So, this is really needs to be a top-down initiative. It needs to be a strategic decision for the company and organization because there's a lot of it's a complete co-sell transformation. Bringing companies together, full scale, CRM to CRM, and then aligning data sets around products and propensity, and then going, okay, we're going with this play with this partner on this quarter. you know Everybody has to move on these plays. So it is a top down strategic initiative from an organization, to make a transformation and have great returns from it. So I think, a lot of times, I've seen, in other companies, they'll kind of do things in shadow IT, and it's not going to pan out the revenue results. This is, a strategy from the top. Um,
Yeah. Well, I think encouraging everyone to at least see a demo of what you mean, because that picture's worth a bazillion words in this case. It
yeah.
really is, a light bulb moment when you get to see what the tool can actually facilitate so quickly, so that it then becomes persuasive, and it opens you up to being able to have those strategies once you realize the information's available to you.
Yes.
Exactly. Very cool. Well, I am so impressed with what you've built and developed, and for the firstly, I guess should we I have a couple of questions for you before I talk a little bit more about what Partner Optimizer does, which is part of our regular routine. So I want to know from you, since a lot of the people attending today are partner leaders, or they're also channel executives who are channel consultants, what can they do better to make a case for budget, to get their senior leadership to invest more in a revenue engine for their partner organization, as well as those channel consulting agencies to drive forward the case for really putting their putting more tools in place for their own clientele?
Yeah, so I think if companies, again, from the top, are looking at a co-sell transformation, there is an innovation budget to go out and put the funds there. That's where we've seen organizations pull from, because you're right, this isn't a budget line item, but it is a solution and that a transformation that delivers ROI. And so in a process, we always talk about the ROI that can be expected for these companies.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah, what we've typically done, and we can offer it to any of you in the audience, is we've put together a little revenue opportunity analysis sheet that basically says what is the lifetime value of a partner, of a good partner, how many transactions or how many clients would you expect them to drive in a year, and what those average transaction sizes are. And from that, you can then start to derive what the value is of recruiting and acquiring a partner or a good partner, or activating the right existing partner. And once you start to do that and you make that visible, and you bring it forth of how much revenue you're leaving on the table by not knowing the information, it's a no-brainer, because our platforms cost nothing in comparison to activating, one, two, three, partners. You're going to get ROI over and over again, and the effects are just infectious.
Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. So one other question for you is, what kind of advice do you have for people who are building their careers in channel and partnership?
Well, I think the new channel manager is a data-driven, proactive person. So I think with all the tools and technology that are coming out, it's a different role than it was before, and it is a role where we are going to help our partners hunt in the right spaces for business. And all the other things that a channel manager does still need to occur, but what I've noticed is the best are really proactive at their position. It's not just going out and having dinners and on the company T&E. It's really driving a number together. And right now, the only way to do that is with the right data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we like to say, there are, the days of like the popular channel chief are kind of over. You can still be popular, but the focus is first figure out which partners that you want to be popular with, because just like there's so little time, right? So put your time and energy and investment into the right partners in the first place, be popular with them, drive them deals, let them drive you opportunities and close revenue. And that's the best way to go. So let's move over to Partner Optimizer before we close. And I just want to give everybody a little refresher on what Partner Optimizer does, because we get so many questions of what is your partner data and where does it come from, and what is partner intelligence to you, and how is it different or the same from Partner Tap? And what's cool is that our partner intelligence and the data that we directly mine is very different, almost not overlapping at all with Partner Tap, and that's why it's so synergistic. What our platform really provides for is a hyper-targeted, very quick and very deep partner discovery. So you can learn what your total addressable market is of partners out there in the universe or a specific area. You can profile your own partners and enrich the partner data that you have in your own CRM or PRM database, so that you can be more, how do we call it? Divide so that you can multiply. Carrie and I were talking about that yesterday. So if you really want to multiply and become a force multiplier as a partner organization, if you can better understand who your partners are, segment, categorize, and target, you're going to be much more effective at the multiplying of what you're doing. So it enriches the partner records and partner profiles that you have. It allows you to actually understand what your ideal partner profile is from the perspective of your partners. So we all know, as we say, I'm looking for these kind of partners, that they need to do this and have this expertise, but we don't always realize what else they're doing and what makes them a successful company and what other competencies and expertise and other things that they're selling. So by having that all in one place, you're literally putting together a better query that's looking for what those partners do so well that you fit into. And this way, once you find those partners, you have a better together story with them, because you can share why you fit into their role and their model, and why you can help them be more successful, and vice versa. So it's just very strategic. The other thing you can do is track whether or not the partners are aligned with your brand, and or if they're aligned with your competition, because sometimes a strategy of recruiting partners involves staying away from your competition because it's too much to pull them away, whereas other times you may have a better mousetrap, or something as a more modern tool, and or maybe it's just a very competitive sector and you only should be going after your competitors' partners. The inquiries, the search queries that you're allowed to build within the Partner Optimizer engine and the search algorithm data-driven recommendations really can help you tweak exactly for what you're looking for and when. And the other reason is, when you can look at a specific partner profile, it's like having a battle card. So you find a good partner and you don't just download a list. I mean, a lot of people, yes, you download the list and then you start to take it to a go-to-market revenue engine. But at the same time, if you keep those profiles that you learn, that you can use about that partner, your conversations, your research about that partner, your activation and conversion of that partner is that much better and faster and more intelligent. And it's just a win-win. So you can deploy Partner Optimizer across the many different roles in your channel organization, partner organization. So I think that's it for now. So it looks like this is a slide that shows what kind of data and partner intelligence we actually do mine for ourselves. And we call it the Neural Partner Engine. It is collecting constantly partner business attributes from the online world, from the public web, from companies' websites, from blogs and social posts, and it's bringing it in to build a profile about each partner. And that's what makes it so possible for you to build a very specific query, as simple as you want or as complex as you want, in order to drive those results. So I think that's all we have right now, and all we have time for. But Cassandra, thank you so much for being here. I'm really, honored that you've made the time and that you're sharing what you've done with our audience. And I'm looking forward to announcing some new exciting promotions and better together opportunities for our customers, and possibly, as we go forward. And yes, we are channel partners ourselves. And
Yeah.
so, partners help partners, and it's been a great opportunity. And I love working with you, Cass, and your team is amazing. And I hope that everyone will scan to see a demo of Partner Tap and realize that they would be foolish not to keep going with it.
And I cannot wait to see you at Multiply in a couple
Right.
of weeks. So excited for the partner event coming up too, where we get to finally see each other in person, Dina.
Exactly. Finally. All right. Well, everyone, have a great day. Our next episode of Ecosystem Chronicles is with one of our customers, actually a distributor, ScanSource, Catherine White. And she actually is now Vice President of Advanced Solutions, and she is brilliant. She's strategic. She understands and is always embracing partner intelligence. And I encourage everyone to be on, because she's got such a great energy, and her stories about leveraging partner intelligence are interesting and a little different than what we've talked about in the past. And I think this audience will really get a lot out of it. So Cass, I'll see you at InPartner Multiply. And for everyone else, I hope to see you soon. Please spread the word about Ecosystem Chronicles and share this version of this episode of it with your peers and colleagues. And have a great day.
Thanks, Dina.
Bye, everyone.